Hello everyone and welcome to today's session. A recorded version of this webinar will be available. We'd love to hear from you. Please reach us using our email address, which is asabm@asabm.com. Brain Awareness Week, BAW, is an international effort organized by the Dana Alliance for Brain Initiatives and the Society for Neuroscience to promote the public and personal benefits of brain research. The official week for the next Brain Awareness Week is March 15 to 21, 2021. ASABM is part of the global campaign to foster public enthusiasm and support for brain science. Welcome to our activities that share the wonders of the brain and the impact brain science has on our everyday lives. For those of you just joining us, welcome. Following slides prepared for secondary and high school classes. We suggest have a quick discussion in the class about the brain and stimulate your students to be excited about studying the brain. You might start with following information. Your brain isn't fully formed until age 25. Your brain storage capacity is considered virtually unlimited. Brain information travels up to an impressive 268 miles per hour. There is a fun activity for the session. Please try to find presenter voice change during the session. The brain is the body's command center. This specialized organ is responsible for every thought, every feeling, and the vast majority of our actions. Its unique and complex, three-dimensional architecture plays an important role in deciding upon and issuing those important commands. Over the past few hundred years, scientists have learned that the brain has dedicated regions responsible for specific tasks like understanding and producing speech or processing visual and spatial information. Each part of the brain's intricate configuration works together to govern sensation and perception, information processing, and the initiation of a wide variety of behaviors, and helps us make sense of the world around us. While a complete discussion of neuroanatomy is worthy of a thick textbook full of elaborate illustrations, here are some of the basics.
Brain stem, a primitive part of the brain that connects the brain to the spinal cord. The brain stem controls functions basic to survival, such as heart rate, breathing, digestive processes, and sleeping. Cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest brain structure in humans, accounting for about 2/3 of the brain's mass and positioned over and around most other brain structures. The cerebrum is divided into left and right hemispheres, as well as specific areas called lobes that are associated with specialized functions. Pituitary gland, an endocrine organ at the base of the brain that is closely linked with the hypothalamus. The pituitary gland is composed of two lobes, the anterior and posterior lobes, and secretes hormones that regulate the activity of the other endocrine organs in the body.
Frontal lobe, the front of the brain's cerebrum, beneath the forehead. This area of the brain is associated with higher cognitive processes such as decision-making, reasoning, social cognition, and planning, as well as motor control. Parietal lobe, the area of the brain's cerebrum located just behind the central sulcus. It is concerned primarily with the reception and processing of sensory information from the body and is also involved in map interpretation and spatial orientation, recognizing one's position in space in relation to other objects or places. Occipital lobe, a part of the brain's cerebrum, located at the rear of the brain, above the cerebellum. The occipital lobe is primarily concerned with vision and encompasses the visual cortex. Temporal lobes, the parts of the cerebrum that are located on either side of the head, roughly beneath the temples in humans. These areas are involved in hearing, language, memory storage, and emotion. Cortex, the outer layer of the cerebrum. Sometimes referred to as the cerebral cortex cerebellar artery, the major blood vessel providing oxygenated blood to the cerebellum. Frontal operculum, the part of the frontal lobe that sits over the insula. Central sulcus, the primary groove in the brain's cerebrum, which separates the frontal lobe in the front of the brain from the parietal and occipital lobes in the rear of the brain. Medulla oblongata, the lower part of the brain stem, responsible for life-regulating functions like breathing and heart rate. Hemisphere, in brain science, refers to either half of the brain, left or right. The two hemispheres are separated by a deep groove, or fissure, down the center. Some major, specific brain functions are located in one or the other hemisphere. While popular culture suggests that hemispheric dominance, or which side of the brain is more active, can help inform how an individual best learns, research does not support this idea.
Brain and Artificial Intelligence, prepared by Ali Owners Khan. What is brain? The brain is the most complex part of the human body. This 3-pound organ is the seat of intelligence, interpreter of the senses, initiator of body movement, and controller of behavior. Lying in its bony shell and washed by protective fluid, the brain is the source of all the qualities that define our humanity. What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is intelligence demonstrated by machines, unlike the natural intelligence displayed by humans and animals, which involves consciousness and emotionality. The advancement of artificial intelligence systems can help drive neuroscience forward and unlock the secrets of the brain. It allows neuroscientists and researchers to build better models to simulate the human brain. Neural networks are acting as virtual brains that capture the representation of our brain. What is the relationship between human intelligence and artificial intelligence? While human intelligence aims to adapt to new environments by utilizing a combination of different cognitive processes, artificial intelligence aims to build machines that can mimic human behavior and perform human-like actions. Why is AI important? Some AI technologies have been around for more than 50 years, but advances in computing power, the availability of enormous quantities of data and new algorithms have led to major AI breakthroughs in recent years. Artificial intelligence is seen as central to the digital transformation of society, and it has become all developed countries' priority. Future applications are expected to bring about enormous changes, but AI is already present in our everyday lives. Artificial intelligence against COVID-19. In the case of COVID-19, AI has been used in thermal imaging in airports and elsewhere. In medicine, it can help recognize infection from computerized tomography lung-s.
Thank you for joining the session. You can learn more exciting information from the Dana Foundation webpage and ASABM webpage. The Dana Foundation is a private philanthropic organization dedicated to advancing understanding about the brain in health and disease through research grants and public outreach. ASABM mission is to help to decrease risk factors of neurological diseases and disorders through improving social awareness level about neurological health, specifically Arabic-speaking community. Then society can take protective measures as required. We suggest discussing in your class, what did you learn today? Does the information you learned today connect to something in your daily life? What was the most interesting fact about the brain? If you have any question, please feel free to reach us using asabm@asabm.com.